final time. Hello, welcome back. My name is Scopia. We are going to watch The Vampire LESTAT, the last episode. Yes, I do have vampire fangs right now in because that's just silly and I got them today. I normally don't post reaction content like that. I just do it in like a really short form. But I thought in honor of the final, we are going to do it in long form. I'm so scared. I've seen a lot of videos with mixed reactions and yeah, we are just going to get into it. Let's start.
LESTAT?
It's like the fucking Spider-Man beam. Oh, it's the countdown. I bet it has something to do with like the head stuff.
Companionship ended. And as part of that journey, I wish to say something from the deepest regions of my soul.
Aman's apology. This body face shot, I like it a lot. And Aman's apology.
Yes. I put the Fred Steins in your photo collection just to fuck with your head.
Aman put these Stein photographies in the box or whatever just to fuck with Aman. No, with Louis. Oh god. Anyway, I'm so excited for this. Wait, in the subtitle when he says amends, it's like in quotation marks. Is that called quotation marks? I think it is. Anyway, it's called amends, right? Because he's not serious. He was serious to Daniel, kind of, but these whole apologies, yeah, I don't really believe them. I don't. Except the things he says to Daniel. I do believe that. Oh, I love Aman with his little tied up hair. That's so cute.
It's with my companion.
Snuck out before the wife woke up, did you?
Told me to take my head as far away from her body as I could.
Okay, I already knew this because of the spoiler, but I didn't know how he said it and when and how. Oh, 11 minutes in, my people. 11 minutes in. If this is the only Devil's Minion stuff we will get, then I will be sad, right? Again, I don't believe season 3 is a Devil's Minion season. I think that was season 2. Maybe it will be season 4 again. But listen, I just want them to make out. I'm honest, right? I'm a simple person. I'm easily entertained and I want them to make out.
Okay, getting our bearings back. Good.
Oh, that is evil, Amara. That is evil. Yes. And I'm so glad they're like adding some of the Regina plotline in the main plot. I think that's really good. Which is too. I kind of like. I didn't expect anything. I don't know what to feel about this season. Okay, so I'm glad that they did this.
Need for saving, or was she conceived the instant you hurled me into the supporting wall of our Dubai penthouse? Brought to life when I used an old photo of Claudia in her baby Lou blues and facial recognition software on my iPad to find 7 out of 10 in Berlin, an 8.5 in Tunis, or this. Zone 2 girly with a grift.
He didn't what? Right, yeah. Of course he did. Of course. Wonderful. Oh my god, I love Aman so much. And I love that we see him more. I was like yearning for him in the past episodes just to see him for 1 second. Because Aman, if you can tell, is my favorite character. I love how much TC is enjoying this.
Rest.
That was loud. Anyway, I'm making this video about Devil's Minion. And in that video, I'm saying how it's kind of Aman's superpower to say rest, and how it was really interesting and fascinating how Daniel resisted that rest in his 70s. Now, am I making this reaction video more about Devil's Minion than in the episode? Yes. Let's go. I'm excited for this. I'm way too excited. I cannot show a lot of these clips on YouTube, so I don't know how I will do it. I have no idea. I'm so excited.
the heat of his anger. His wrath is poured out like fire.
No one who conceals transgressions will prosper, but one who confesses and forsakes them will obtain mercy.
They have confessed.
Even the Marquis stayed home.
I wanted you to escape Auvergne.
I also came for a particular outdoor concert, didn't purchase event cancellation insurance. We want the bag.
You usually send Rashid in first.
He's crosstown, waiting for the butcher to open.
I swear, if they are going to do Buddy Fee stuff with Daniel Malloy, with my Daniel Malloy boy, I'm going to freak out. I will freak out. Not in a good way. Because I don't want that. I don't. No. What is happening right now? I don't understand anything. I don't. What is happening right now? What is happening right now?
The opposite shore.
On the opposite shore.
Running out. 12. Scared. Poor boy. Arun, you need a love that'll cradle you. You should have that. And I was never that for you. And I'm sorry.
Okay. This is one of those moments in which I am laughing because I want to cry, but I'm not going to cry. Every time Aman's backstory is mentioned in one way or another, I get incredible sad. Right? So I really like this scene. I think Asad is so amazing. I mean, Jacob is amazing too in this scene, and okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to cry. I'm fine. But what I want to say, which is really great about the scene, is that is something I've never thought about before, to be honest, and I feel kind of stupid because of it. Because, yes, considering Louis' past and considering Aman's past, that is already such a huge conflict in a relationship.
Him a godling, and what does he do with this?
Hops the SS abandoned in New Orleans. Gives the gift to a pimp who lives to make him miserable and fucks his ex. A lot. Could be nice. The soul! The failed progeny of Magnus.
Unworthy chosen of Akasha.
The soul!
Kills the daughter, saves the pimp, rots in a rotting robe, in a rotting shack, in the rotting city. A tragic, crippled thing, playing a blank.
This episode is going to end with the beginning of the concert. So I think season 4 will be Akasha. Right? So maybe we will see the beginning of the concert in season 4. So I don't think we will get a Devil's Minion kiss. So sad. I have a heart attack.
I love you too. Fuck that song!
I love Long Face. I think it's one of the songs I listen to the most. I think. I mean, I did listen. Yeah, I love it. I love Long Face. Yeah.
If I failed, then that means I actually attempted something. Which is more than I can say, but much of those I love the most. I don't know if I mean that. That was performative. I loved you. I did.
He has a hard time saying it.
His brother is right here in Lestat's little concert. Does that mean? Is that a confirmation that Lestat killed him? Oh, that would be so devastating. But on the other hand, it would also be sad because I don't know if I like that. Wait, let me think about it. Because I've recently read Interview with the Vampire again. I'm going to make a great video about it. I mean, I think all my videos are great. You don't have to. Anyway, but I actually quite like the fact that it was always a little bit. You know what? I like it. I like it in the sense how the story was framed. if that's what's happening right now. Also, the sun is going down right now, which is kind of perfect because we're almost over, and I almost don't have any light anymore. But yeah, this is proof I'm not a vampire, right? I'm sadly not burning.
I still wish you were a woman. I still wish you were a woman.
Me too, sometimes.
Oh.
Our words at the long table. The shoe leather of how I got there was explained to me by a man I did not recognize, but who I now call a friend. He told—
Wait, theory time. So we know that David Talbot is Lestat's friend in the books, right? And there was a lot of talking about that Daniel is kind of taking David's place because they killed David off in the show, and now what if it's Raglan who takes? But that was one make sense with even. Okay, it's only 4 minutes left, so let's watch it because I barely have light anymore.
made a contribution. Let me take that back. The fault was mine. All mine.
Normally at the end of these videos, people are just spilling their thoughts and saying a lot of stuff, and I'm thinking right now, I don't know. I didn't hate the final. I didn't hate it. Was it as good as season 2? No, because season 2 is my favorite, and I just have a high expectation. And I mean, a few hours have passed now, and I've had some time to think about what I really think about this final. The more I rewatch it, the more little details I notice that completely passed me by the first time. Because there were quite a few things that I ended up liking that I didn't really address in my first reaction, so I want to talk about it now. One of my favorite things in this episode was Lestat being surrounded by everyone he had hurt. And even though this version was less brutal than in Manok the Devil, it did remind me of this hell scene in Manok the Devil. If you're a book fan, maybe it reminded you too. I don't know if that was intentional, but I really liked it. The concept of Lestat imagining what everyone would say to him and treating those thoughts as his own. Since Lestat is a constantly evolving character, seeing that inner conflict was really fascinating. And when I first watched it, I didn't realize that they reshot the scene with Delaney with Claudia. I didn't see that. I'm sorry, I was just stumbling over my words, but I didn't notice that, and I was really cool that day. I think the difference between, oh, I'm a failure, why am I seeking out failure all the time, everyone hates me, and I didn't do what I was meant to do, or I just disappointed everyone, to coming to, no, I did actually a good job, I did something, I tried something, I was really fucking great, was really interesting playoff, especially because it happened really fast. Every scene with Armand worked for me, and Assad was amazing. Especially liked that the show didn't reduce Armand to a simple villain in this scene, but gave him space to explore both his own character and his complicated history with Louis. When I watched it the second time, I actually did cry, and it was really sad. I'm not going to show that now because it was, really ugly. I cried a lot, and I had to stop a lot. A lot of conversation about that Armand has this one scene in episode 7 where he's finally understood, and it didn't feel like a moment of being understood to me. It felt more like these two were finally having a conversation they should have had a long time ago, even though it was not really with a lot of consent from Louis' side, like he didn't really have a choice, but it was important for them to have this conversation. And you know what? Right after that, having Marius appear on Lestat's table was really cruel and brilliant and cruel, and I kind of like that. Also, this other thing about Magnus saying that consent is a 20th century thing.
Why is he the chair?
I am your maker!
I knew you for a week! What do you know of me?
Ask for it, wolf killer, and you shall love forever.
I refused! Consent is a 20th century concern.
Or something like that. He said something like that. And I thought it was so funny. You know, it was a sad scene, obviously, talking about Lestat's turning and all that stuff. But it was also funny because if you read the books, consent is not a huge thing in Anne Rice books. I also found it interesting thinking about the beheading of Louis and Lestat. It doesn't seem like the point was to stop the Great Conversion, although we know that Armand is against the Great Conversion. But it's still going on. Anyway, so I feel like the story is much bigger And I just want to believe that we will get a lot of payoff later. Another moment I loved was Lestat finally standing up to his mum. Gabriella absolutely deserved that confrontation. I even wish it would have been a little bit longer. Still have plenty of thoughts about Gabriella, but I will save those for another video where I can discuss the entire season in more detail. Thing that I didn't really address but really enjoyed was the Witcher scene. At first, I thought they might be going in the way of the twins. If you read the books, you know what I mean. But there wasn't anything about the twins. To me, the scene showed how young Lestat lost every kind of faith, while reinforcing that Gabriella never wanted him to remain trapped in the manor because she envisioned a different life for him. If you have any other kind of interpretation from any of this, please write it down in the comments. Music throughout the final was excellent as well. I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't got any brand new Lestat song, at least not as far as I've noticed. And of course, I would never complain about more Devil's Minion content, but that's just my personal preference. Also, the scene about him saying, oh, it was really fucking performative, and I did love you all. Oh, that hit very hard. That was a very emotional thing for me. I also enjoyed the Talamasca being more involved.
Make more? We came up with that.
You want the Great Conversion.
Their role is quite different in the books, but then again, we don't really have the Great Conversion in the books in a lot of ways. The Talamasca series has already showed many aspects of the Talamasca supporting the Great Conversion for some reason. I don't really understand why yet. One thing that I don't really know how to feel about is how there were some playing with the audience expectations. We spent so much time, even outside of the show, hearing how horrifying everything was, and yet the final felt surprisingly restrained. It was emotional powerful, but episode 6 still shocked and devastated me more, and I also would have liked to see more of Akasha. That said, I still have plenty questions. How was Lestat able to walk in the sunlight? He wasn't able to do that before. Everyone's saying that it was because of Akasha. Yeah, probably, but he couldn't do that before. What happened to the rest of the world? How much time has passed between the final scene and the first scene with the auction scene? And what happened with every other character? Is Devil's Minion together? Did they kiss? What happened to Louis? I mean, we know he lost a leg, but what happened? Please tell me. As I said before, I still don't think this final surpassed season 2. But matching season 2 was always going to be incredibly difficult. That doesn't mean I disliked it. If anything, I think there were some emotional scenes, especially those involving Lestat and Armand. I liked Alex in the whole episode, how he was like quietly judging Daniel in a way. I think the show would have benefited, and especially this episode, from a little bit slower pacing, because of the very strong and emotional scenes. I just wish we had a little bit more time with them. I also should admit that when I recorded my first reaction, I was completely exhausted. You probably couldn't tell because I was really excited at the beginning, but I think there was just so many details that only stood out after watching it for the second time, and I'm pretty sure I still missed a lot of things, so I will be watching it again. Yeah, I just want to mention that, just to be fair, you know. By the way, I did forget another thing to mention, and that was the A cutted on Louis' body. Everyone thought that was Daniel. So they fooled us. They fooled us one time in the car with Louis finding out about Lestat's mom, and then they fooled us again with the A on the body. Overall, I think I'm just kind of emotionally drained right now. Looking back, I don't think the final was bad. In fact, I appreciate it more on a rewatch, and I'm hopeful that we get another season. All of this will build towards a bigger payoff, just like they did with season 1 and 2. At least that's what I hope. And now, I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments, what did you enjoy, what didn't you enjoy, was there anything you wish to see more of, and if you like more of these long-form videos from me, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I need to lay down right now.